Hello YouTube and welcome back. So today we're gonna react to a SCP, which I know you're expecting a spooky one. Nah, we're gonna take a look at this one that says it's safe, mainly because is that a video game cartridge on the thumbnail? Yeah, so this video's obviously by the Vulcan. It's SCP-4054. What's the name? Hold on, I need to click back into it. The Seventh Door. It's a safe electronic SCP. So yeah, a change from the usual ones we see. I was originally gonna look for SCP-420J because I find that one hilarious, but you know what? Let's look for something new. Also, if you're wondering what the background music is, it's Final Fantasy VII, the original one's theme for Tifa, because I like OG Final Fantasy VII. I do like the remake, though. Fun fact. This is a spoiler for the remake. Let me just make sure no one's around. It's not a remake. It's secretly a sequel. It's secretly a sequel. That's why there's weird shit going on in Final Fantasy VII's remake games. They're not really a remake. But yeah, there's like this whole weird time travel shit with Sephiroth. That's why Sephiroth's all weird. And the spoilers. Anyway. Let's start the video. Let me get it set up. Okay, I'm gonna stop the music. Right, full screen. Also, apologies if you didn't know that. Maybe I shouldn't say a Final Fantasy VII Remake spoiler. I don't know. Not bad. But yeah, like, they kind of tricked people into thinking it was an actual one-for-one remake. No, it has... most of the new stuff is just part of their, like, weird new time travel. The story got more convoluted. That's all I'll say. But at the same time, you're also revisiting old Final Fantasy VII moments. Alright.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Dr. Miller, and the SCP
Nintendo
we're going
cartridge.
to be looking at today is SCP-4054. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment Procedures. 3.
I just want to ask, what makes a video game cartridge a SCP? Because this is kind of weird. If it's safe and it's just a video game, huh? What got it contained? Is it just a really rare video game and one of the 05 people wanted it?
NES, Nintendo Entertainment System consoles modified to run SCP-4054 are to be kept for testing purposes. SCP-4054 is to be stored on site in a secure locker. Access is limited to Level 3 personnel and
Level
above.
3?
Foundation agents monitoring flea markets, yard sales, and property auctions for anomalous activity are to be briefed on the existence of SCP-4054. Any NES cartridges suspected of being copies of SCP-4054 are to be purchased for examination.
Okay, so they're literally, if they find any of this game, they're buying them? Huh. Wait, so what if someone already buys the game and they leave like a flea market that isn't working for the Foundation? Do they themselves get contained? They're all, you bought a video game, that's why you're here. You're a D class now. Because that would be kind of fucked up. I'm not gonna lie.
A Foundation-operated bot, IO Sauron, is to monitor online gaming communities for discussions regarding the existence of SCP-4054, a joint operation involving Mobile Task Force Mu-4, debuggers, and Mobile Task Force Gamma-5, Red Herrings, is to be conducted to investigate these discussions and determine whether the participants are aware of SCP-4054. All copies are to be recovered, and action is to be taken.
Alright, so there's a screenshot of the menu, I guess? I don't know. I just always like it. Like, I always like seeing like fake games being made for a story, and then the creators go through all the effort to actually make like a fake menu like this. Or are they fake? Maybe the Foundation made us think they're fake. Some people think the Foundation is real, which is crazy. I think I've already said my opinion on when people think that. Refer back to my game when I played the Rake game and I talked about the weirdos that believed Slender Man was real. Same reaction.
Taken to discredit the existence of SCP-4054
Kind of
as a
schizos
hoax
think this
or urban
stuff's
legend.
real.
Any screen captures or
Or
videos
is
of
it?
SCP-4054 are to be removed or otherwise replaced with doctored images to further perpetuate this narrative. Description: SCP-4054 is The Seventh Door, an unlicensed platform adventure game released for the Nintendo Entertainment System in 1988. The contents of each cartridge vastly exceeds the storage limitations of its ROM chip, read-only memory. Extracting SCP-4054's PRG-ROM produces a data file too large to be contained on any currently available device.
Okay, so it has a shit ton of memory, and it's like supposed to be a Nintendo game, but it's way above the limited amount of storage space. Like, okay, so let me give a prediction. So is this going to be like, oh yeah, this game technically has its own world in it? Like, if it can't be stored on any device when they try to copy it, like, I guess okay, so now this is getting interesting. So yeah, that's my prediction. Maybe it's basically like a massive simulated world or something inside of a video game someone made, or it's like something weird like that. It's safe because it probably doesn't harm anyone. Or, I don't know. Let's continue.
Because of its limited publication, 300 units, inability to be copied, limited replayability, and incomplete state, functional copies of The Seventh Door are highly valued by vintage NES collectors. The game is also notable for its unique method of bypassing the North American version of the 10NES lockout system. The 10NES lockout system was designed by Nintendo to prevent unlicensed cartridges from operating on their consoles.
I think I heard something like that because a lot of bootleg games tried to, like a lot of people made like bootleg games that they tried to run on like old consoles, I recall. Like, think of it like this. Like, okay, if you ever emulated a game, I'm sure you would find like ROM hacks of like games, like there are millions of ROM hacks of Pokemon games. Some are horror, some are just custom Pokemon stuff. Some people just wanted to make their own Pokemon game, so they made a ROM hack of like, I don't know, a GBA game. Stuff like that's been around for a long time, and sometimes they got sold as bootlegs, which is clearly illegal. However, they got out there. Like, I have like a cartridge that's supposed to look like a GBA game, but it's actually a Game Boy Color cartridge that they tried to shape into a GBA cartridge of Pokemon. I think it was, what was it called? It was a infamous bootleg Pokemon game I got a hold of called Pokemon Diamond, or was it Pokemon Emerald, or no, not Emerald. It's the one with the weird goat demon. It's on like a JonTron video. I got the one with the goat demon. It's not a goat demon. It's like a fake Pokemon, but the game itself isn't a Pokemon. I forgot what the actual game is called, but yeah. I've seen my share. So basically, I guess that's what that thing was for, to prevent like unlicensed games like those to be played on a console, but it bypassed it.
Each cartridge includes two transistors that function as a voltage inverter. When activated, This component produces a negative charged voltage spike that can temporarily disable early versions of the console's CIC, checking integrated circuit, bypassing the authentication lock and allowing unlicensed cartridges to run. Later iterations of the NES would add a series of 1K resistors along with diodes and grounds to prevent this technique from circumventing the lockout unit. However, a defect in this voltage inverter's design causes irreparable damage to the 7th door's SRAM, static random access memory, with each successive reset. This produces an increasing number of glitches which will inevitably render the cartridge non-functional.
Damn.
The 7th door was shipped prior to completion. As a consequence, several core components of gameplay differ from what is depicted in its instruction manual and box art. The protagonist has no extra lives. Upon dying, all progress is lost. The cartridge resets. All power-ups described in the manual are absent save one, the Hand of Glory. According to European folklore, a Hand of Glory is the left hand of a man who has been hanged for murder. When used as a candle, those who perceive its light cannot approach its holder, which prevents monsters and platforms from moving for 10 seconds. All monsters are absent. Falling into a pit does not kill the protagonist. The protagonist will instead continue to fall off screen as the game over sound loops. Memory overflow errors periodically cause sprites to load incorrectly. The prisoners use the protagonist's sprite rather than their own. After unlocking a door, prisoners provide no clue regarding the location of other keys. The text boxes are empty. The protagonist dies at apparently random intervals, typically after a period of remaining still. This occurs regardless of whether or not the game is paused. To date, researchers have uncovered several hundred levels beyond the 7th, described in the manual as the final level and the location of the 7th key. These stages consist of vast networks of crypts, prisons, abandoned factories, and empty underground cities. The precise number of additional levels beyond the 7th has not yet been determined, but vastly exceeds the storage capacity of the cartridge's ROM chip. The 7th level does not contain the 7th key. Addendum 4054 1. Video stream. In 2004, Charles Rogers, an amateur NES cartridge collector, posted a thread at www.openingthe7thdoor.int, a defunct online forum that was dedicated to the 7th door, under the username Inky49. There, he suggested using an NES Game Genie, produced in 1990. The Game Genie is a game-enhancing module that attaches between the NES cartridge and console. It permits direct modification of reference addresses in the ROM of the cartridge via strings of characters or code to directly.
And then after the Game Genie's existence, Game Shark existed in like the 90s, I think, also. Well, no. Wait, was Game Genie and Game Shark like the same company, or were they like competing and then just Game Shark lasted longer? I mean, Game Shark still died, keep in mind. Because I think like after the 90s, like maybe a little after some of the early 2000s, like really early 2000s, I'm pretty sure Game Shark died off also. There was also Action Replay, which was the same thing as a Game Shark. It just used different codes, but did the same thing essentially. Well, it depends on what console, but yeah. But yeah, essentially, these cheat devices in games died, and now the cheat devices we have in current online games are like whenever you see a hacker in Call of Duty Warzone, or a old Call of Duty game, or any shooter game that the devs aren't doing anything about the online multiplayer. That's basically the equivalent nowadays. Like, holy crap.
Set the value associated with the protagonist's number of keys to 7. Several days.
Also, like some like emulators, like a Game Boy emulator or a Nintendo emulator or whatever, sometimes they have built-in Game Genie or Game Shark stuff. So you could enter like game like codes for those cheat devices. And like essentially, that's how in Pokemon you could, like the original Pokemon, that's how you could get Mew. Haha, and then I just personally discovered you could get Mew through a glitch with the glitch Pokemon Missing No. It involves it involves Missing No, and you use Missing No and a trainer in like an area, and you have to like time the pause at a specific time to fly away from the trainer. Like you walk towards the aggro of the trainer, and right before the trainer has a quotation mark over its head, and they start walking towards you, you have to manage to press pause and then fly to like Cinnabar Island or something. And then that's how you get Mew to spawn on the side shore by swimming up and down the shore where Missing No normally shows up. And then there, you got Mew. You could find a better video explaining that. Oh god, I'm going on about Pokemon glitches now.
Later, Mr. Rogers posted a link to an online video stream where he intended to attempt to beat the 7th door using this exploit. Partway through his run, the video abruptly stopped. A follow-up investigation determined that Mr. Rogers had gone missing. Authorities suspected foul play after discovering several fingernails torn from Mr. Rogers' left hand inside his NES console. No copy of the 7th door was recovered. To date, SCP-4054 has been linked to 25 disappearances. It remains under investigation.
Wait, so it's labeled as safe, but playing it can actually maybe kill you? If like his fingernail, like it's not harmless, because clearly when that dude tried streaming himself beating it, his stream abruptly disappeared in the stream and something ripped out his fingernails, so it's clearly not harmless. I guess it's classified safe because you only go missing, or that shit that shit only happens if you're like playing it. Maybe when you're streaming it, because apparently it says the SCP, like the Foundation scientists, are discovered a bunch of different levels in the game, which is crazy.
Well, what can you really say about this one? I'm sorry, fellow gamers. This one, it's probably best to stay away from. Anyway, thank you all for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Yeah, this, okay, so that went in a direction I didn't think it was gonna go in. I thought it was gonna be like the game, since it's, because of its massive storage, it's gonna be like a, simulation or something, except it's like, simulated through like an old Nintendo game or something weird like that. But you know, when you think about it, maybe the prison, because they talked about prisoners you could free in the game. What if those are the missing people you rescue are the prisoners? But yeah, it sounds like a strange game, and like apparently the player character will die randomly. And the one guy who tried to actually beat that game went missing, and then 25 other people went missing, and that's why the Foundation keeps looking for those game cartridges. So, because it's classed as safe because it won't kill you just for being in its presence, but it'll make you go missing if you play it. Or, well, yeah. I assume at some point the people that played it went missing because, I don't know, maybe they got far and found out the secret of that game, or there's like some evil entity in it and it kidnapped them and did something. Something happened. It's basically creepypasta shit. Part of me thinks maybe the prisoners are the players that went missing, like they got isekai'd into the game. But, you know, it could be many things. I don't know if they continued the story to this one. It is SCP-4054, the Seventh Door. So if you want to look that up yourself, you know what? Here, I'll look really quick. Real quick. SCP-4054. P-4054. Let me see if there's more to the story, because that one was pretty short. I mean, they added footnotes. Yeah, never mind. The footnotes, they stated in the video already. But, yeah. Not much more to this. I guess what makes it somewhat creepy is it's a mystery and people went missing playing it, trying to find out the secrets of this game, I guess, trying to beat it. I would love to see, like, a fan game of this. Well, hold on, maybe there is not. I don't know. Anyway. If you enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Peace. Bye. Let me see if my arm tracking's working. Okay, I was trying to wave, but my arm tracking's off again. Well, time to fix the webcam. Anyway, y'all have a good one.